It's Friday morning. It's not crunchy time.
It's Friday morning Rants and Bants with Rudi Lickwood and the crew, Aston Matapha Jones,
Julie Juice, Coach Astrid, and Lescha Marshall-Witter.
Early morning conversation with a special guest each week.
Join us.
Bring your tea, your coffee,
and let us fill you up
at 8:15 a.m. to 9:15 a.m.
Friday mornings.
See you there.
Live with me, Rudi Lickwood, and the Rants and Bants Crew.
Oh, quite lively this morning, guys. Quite lively.
Morning.
We're all in. Are we all in? Are we all in? How are we feeling?
It's Friday.
It is. It's Friday, right?
We're ready.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us this morning for the weekly roundup with the Rants and Bants Crew and myself, Rudi Lickwood. To my right, Lescha, you're muted. Could you say good morning, Leash? You're muted, darling.
Greetings, morning. How you all doing?
And let's not forget my co-host, Aston Matapha Jones.
Irie.
And underneath him, we got the one and only Julie Juice.
Friday morning blessings, everyone.
And we can't forget Coach Astrid. God damn it.
Hi.
Coach, I've been watching you all week, man. You've been back to work.
Yes. I'm back to teaching my classes, so I'm excited.
Oh my God! So what is it? Is it back in the pool again? Is that what it is? Back in the pool?
Yes, it's back in the pool. All my classes that I do are back in the pool, apart from one on yesterday lunchtime, which is fitness rebounder, which means I'm on the rebounder, bouncing around and having good fun and being energized more so than normal.
Nice one.
And it's really good. It's really good for like the lymphatic system, doing the rebounder, because it helps with that and clearing out all the toxins in the body and all that kind of thing. So
I got toxins. Excuse me. I got toxins. I ain't gonna lie.
Come join me then. Come join me. I'll help you get rid of those toxins.
Have all the windows open, man.
Any form of movement will destroy them.
Boy, sometimes the belly gripes me, man. I'm like, Jesus Christ. You know, I wonder what I've been eating. And the thing is, I eat the same stuff. I'm not like I'm just a boring eater, but I literally am. But you know, there are times when, like, I didn't realize I was lactose intolerant.
Okay.
Yeah,
I really didn't know that it was the fact that we shouldn't really be drinking milk. You know, they're not really. The milk is not really for us. It's actually for the baby calf. You know.
Yeah.
Everything tastes better with cheese, though.
With cheese, did you say?
Yeah, I like cheese, not blue cheese, just regular cheese, and I tend to find that everything tastes better with cheese. But I am lactose intolerant, like yourself. So.
Wow. Sorry, when you said everything tastes better with cheese, my brain just went cereal.
I have been known when I was pregnant to put cheese on my cereal. So yes.
Wow.
Cheese in your cereal,
just on top, just a little bit, just to get a little bit of garnish.
Next thing,
people use charcoal. I had everything with cheese when I was pregnant.
That's where it came from.
I think that's why my daughter was severely lactose intolerant, because I ate everything with cheese during my pregnancy.
I don't mind a bit of crackers with cheese, but not cereal. How does that work?
I don't know. It did at the time. I wouldn't say it does now, but it definitely did at the time.
I was addicted to ketchup.
Is it ketchup?
Yeah.
No, but ketchup's got sugar.
I know. That's why I was addicted. But it went on everything, and I wasn't pregnant, so I didn't have an excuse.
No,
I think ketchup reminds me of people who used to put it when we were little in our soup to make the soup red.
Oh, thicken it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Pink
dumplings.
Did anybody actually put carnation milk on crackers?
I've tried it.
No, condensed milk.
Condensed milk.
On bread.
And on bread.
Condensed milk on crackers.
I've tried it.
Condensed milk, yeah.
You can now we can tell all those who was on a low budget when we were growing up.
No, condensed milk is expensive,
isn't it? It's not cheap.
It was expensive. That was a treat.
I used to walk it down.
Morning, Stingo.
Is that what you lot call the treat?
It was expensive. It's never been cheap.
Okay, I just don't see how that works. What is it doing on bread? I just don't get it. How?
It tasted so good.
On bread?
All right, I've done that. Someone's had tuna on Weetabix because they didn't have bread.
Stop it!
My daughter has jam on Weetabix, definitely.
Jam on Weetabix. Jam on Weetabix.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
It's seen as one of those.
I can just eat cheese on its own. End of. Just like a big chunk of cheese, and I can eat it like that.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No crackers.
Cute, but no,
I don't need crackers. I just
what
eat
about
the
a bit
cheese
of,
as it is.
What about some tomatoes with what I mean?
No.
Tomatoes.
Apple
tomato and cheese, man. That is the ball.
No, tomatoes need to be cooked to be eaten.
If I'm putting anything on cheese, is salad cream.
Oh,
yeah, I've done that.
That's sour upon sour.
And as I say, does anyone do peanut butter and cheese? Yeah, peanut butter and cheese toasties. That's boom.
And you lot are talking about my cereal. Come on now.
Cheese is my number one hate.
Okay.
No,
hate.
Really
is.
Wow.
Even you're talking about it. My gag senses are coming up.
I haven't even got a cheesy song for you, so I could sing.
Thank you.
Oh, you haven't got a cheesy song for him. No. Oh, that's okay. We'll have to help you out with that.
That's your kryptonite, cheese. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We know what to do now.
I'll give you my wallet straight away.
Well, hold on. You just mentioned a cheesy song, so I thought I'd help you out.
Thanks.
Them a think them a bad man, but them a sad man. Them a rat, think me happy send them Baghdad, bring them to the war field. Them a get healed, walk around with them gun. Me happy show them where the Zion. Jah will bless the true lion. Bonfire upon the fake man, big up the righteous man. Cause them a chat what them a chat about. Jah will come fi take out, pull out, time out, it's lights out. Big up all the real man. Them a look at no hood rat.
What was that?
Big up that tune there. Big up that tune.
I'm not one for violence, but she turned me into a sniper.
Go off cheese.
Look at that. George is like block. But
she had a million next to her.
Yeah, you know what?
She must have been paid a serious amount of money. Sorry, I'm just crying.
I just don't know. You know what? The thing is that it's almost like reverse psychology with that one day. It was so bad that people were just showing it around. I'm sure Carl is putting that out when he's playing his stuff. Man. I'm sure that Carl is using it. He's like,
Come on, Carl. Morning, Carl.
Don't encourage him. You don't need no encouragement.
He's not in the country, is he? Isn't he in Wales? So that one don't count.
Oh, yeah,
no, that ain't right.
Oh,
wow.
right. Wow.
But he's part of the principality. Principality. Do you know what I mean? He's a bit like Harry, the unwanted stepchild. You know what I mean?
Still more sheep than people in Wales. So.
Oh no! Stop it, man! Stop it, Carl. May I back you, man. May I back you? I know why them a go answer.
Yeah.
Them no tune, man. Them no tune.
Them a think them a bad man, but them a sad man. Them a rascal. Think me have to send them back, bring them to the war field. Them a get healed, walk around with them gun. Me have to show them where the Zion. Jah will bless the true lion. Bonfire upon the fake man, big up the righteous man. Cause them a chat what them a chat.
What about chat about? What?
That's so wrong. That is.
You might end up doing this show on your own.
I am hurting. Just insane. That's painful.
You
The
lot are wrong,
headache,
man.
Julie.
It's your fault. You shouldn't have said them nothing about that.
That
Man.
is painful.
I share some of my innermost secrets with you, and that's what you got to do with it.
There's something about that, though, isn't there, about assimilating and trying to imitate? And it's proper cringeworthy, because if I went out of my way to speak extremely and extraordinarily eloquently, people would question why I was doing that. So a bit like the Felix Dexter character, where he speaks so and it's very entertaining, isn't it? It's entertaining, but also for some it's cringeworthy. That is shocking. So you know, when you get people coming and going, walk on, brethren, like, wow.
Excuse me. No, I'm like, when I hear that, I'm like, excuse me. What did you say?
High five me, man.
Exactly.
High five me. Walk on, brethren. Walk on.
Can I use the back of my hand?
Whack one. The best one is whack one.
Yeah. But it's like, do I speak like that? So why are you speaking to me like that?
I haven't spoken yet, and they're going whack one. Wag one.
Wag one.
So WAG one, wag one. That's how they say it in the text. Wag one. I'm like, what? No, let it go, man. Do whatever colloquial accent you need to do, but not mine. It's not happening.
So then, do you think that people feel the same when we speak like Cockney? Like,
yeah. I hear you
did you, like, I'm not saying that.
I think
you're kind of born by Bow Bells, innit, or down south where you got a bit of rhyming slang and all that. Like, if we were to walk around talking like that all the time, giving it a bit of my boy, my gee, wide geezer, then you know it might seem.
But there's a lot of.
It seems to roll off your tongue pretty well.
Geezer, because that's the environment they grew up in.
I mean, we've got Mark and we've got Stingo. Could you guys respond to that as a question when you hear like black people try to speak Bow Bells, like, you know what I mean, and apples and peas and chicken and peas and all that kind of stuff. How does that? Right. What do you think when you actually hear that? Grand Rising goes out to Trevor and also goes out to Donna Ben.
Yes, Donna. Good morning.
Hi, Donna. Morning.
Good morning. Morning, Trevor.
It'd be interesting to get some feedback from you on your thoughts on that. You know, listening to black, because we often talk about white people trying to talk black, and how it grates. You get me? But has it ever really been reversed?
Do we ever sound bad?
But do we know if we're sounding bad?
I'm just saying. I'm asking the question. Do we ever sound bad? So if you went oi oi,
but you're asking the wrong
like
person.
A black person going oi oi oi, yeah, because the wag one is not something I would say.
Yes, at least.
And the thing is, if you've grown up in South London and that's how you speak, because that's where you've grown up, then that's different, as far as I'm concerned.
So
that's all you know.
Is that the same for a white person, though?
If that's the environment they've grown up with, they probably won't say wag one.
I was going to say there's only one real, big celebrity example that we can think of who wasn't born in Jamaica but has a very, very strong Jamaican accent, which sounds very authentic. And I've never heard him actually speak with an English-sounding accent unless he sounds like he's really trying. It's like he has to think about that. Like you're saying, I don't feel like he's just being appropriate. I think sometimes he does go a bit overboard with it, but you know, I do feel as if it is naturally how his tongue rolls.
Okay, and who's that? Who's that you're referring to?
White Yardie.
Oh, White Yardie.
Yeah.
Okay, because I've heard White Yardie switch it on and off.
I've never really heard him switch it off.
I have.
I know he can.
Yeah, that's because you know him, don't you? So.
Just like anybody, innit?
But yeah, as I said, I don't feel like he's just appropriating. I feel because he grew up and spent a lot of time there, it seems more natural to sounding from him. It doesn't sound like the wagwan thing.
Okay, I hear that.
Yeah.
So okay, like I said, it'd be interesting to hear what Paul and Mark have got to say. You know what I mean?
Rasta Mouse has a lot to answer for.
He sure does. Rasta Mouse.
Hearing that.
Mouse is the man that we need to get hold of, man, to sort out a lot of things that's going on within the community. Because I wish you there. Well, as you know, this morning, ladies and gentlemen, the headline that we were going to be running with was about what's going on with our children in the community, as well as why is all the abductions and everything going on? I mean, I'm sure you guys have heard about that.
Yeah.
I mean, what are your thoughts?
I think because of the type of work that I do, it's not a surprise. So I work with survivors of modern day slavery and human trafficking.
Wow.
So because as a commodity, it's going to outsource drugs very soon. The whole thing around abducting young people so that they can be coerced into a life of crime to generate income for dubious individuals is sad, but not a surprise to me. So yeah, it's disheartening to hear how young the abductions are and how often they're occurring, and how vigilant, unfortunately, parents are having to be now.
Right.
Because there's something about enabling our children and our legacies to generate some form of independence. So, but actually, we're having to reschool and take children to school, pick them up from school, because there's some really ridiculous people out there that have a really horrible mindset about what it is that they're doing with our young people. So it's really saddening.
It is, because I was talking with Aston and various other people about what's currently been going on, and I know there's a gentleman who's been out there who's been at this for a number of years now, online, and I just want you guys to watch this for a sec.
Good afternoon. This is Stefan Brown from Stop Our Kids Being Killed on Our Street. I'm angry, vexed, and all words can't express how I feel. As you know, a couple of weeks ago now, 3 weeks ago, we've been talking about people kidnapping children. And as you know, this white van is still running around teething our kids. And let me say something, because I'm going to cuss. I don't care if I get banned or anything. Remember, this weekend, some Palestinians went through Finchley and all them cussing and shouting to the Jews. They got nicked straight away. It's on the news. Our kids, black kids, are getting stolen off the street. Kidnapped, put in houses, and there's whole heap of kids in the houses. Yeah, it's not on the news. Why is it not on the news? Why is it not on the news? No Channel 4, no ITV, no BBC, no Sky News. Why is it not on the news that our kids are getting stolen from the street? Why not? I know why not. You tell me why it isn't. And let's think about this. Our kids are getting stolen off the street. Listen, everybody. Man them, women them, uncles, aunties. Let's look for these people. Yeah? Let's look to see who's doing it. Because the police ain't doing it. There's not one little bit of sentence come out and said, we are sorting this problem out. Mr. Khan, you've just got in. What are you doing? Boris, you clown, what are you doing? And Commander Dick, come on the telly and say something that you're doing something for our black community. Yeah? Our kids are getting stolen off the street. Do something. You know what? We do it ourselves. We'll find out who it is. Put a call out there. Find these people. Find out who these people are. Find this van. Sorry, but me vexed, me tired of being vexed. No songs today.
Wait, that's one very upset gentleman, and we've actually got him in the studio with us this morning. Please welcome Stefan Brown.
Good morning,
Stefan. Good morning, sir. How you doing?
Boy, I tell the truth.
I wake up every day feeling, what's it going to be today? That's how I feel every day. But, you know, if you don't keep fighting for our youth and our teenagers and our kids, because remember, they are kids, who's going to do it? So, you know, you've got to get up every morning and think, right, let's put on our shields and start fighting for our communities, because we're going downhill. We're going backwards instead of forwards.
Yeah.
But salute you for putting this on a platform, because there's not many platforms I go on, but I've known you, Rudi, for a very, very, very long time, and Anton, and I do anything to raise awareness to parents, to the community, what is actually going on in the street. And I don't mind how bad it is. I will tell the truth, exactly what's going on in the street, because you have to hear, because people close the doors and think, oh, it will never happen to me, until it does happen.
Right.
And I keep people saying, oh, it's on your doorstep. I keep saying, no, it's not on your doorstep. It's in your front room. It's in your house. So, you know, until we start waking up and saying, right, we've got to get our communities back together and start protecting our communities, and like a village that it used to be, then we're just losing the battle.
We are, because you're saying that we should start organizing and coming together, you know. I remember I think there was a time when you was actually out and about on the street, hasn't it? When you had like patrols and stuff going on.
That hasn't. I mean, I might have my Stop Our Kids Being Killed on the Street website with like 25,000 people, but don't think it's just a page that I do. I go into schools and talk. I go to police stations and talk about the stop and search, how they're getting it wrong. How these police that are policing us, they've got no idea about street. They've got no idea about life. They come out of the area where they've never even encountered black people, only see them on walking on street. And then the approach they have is just a negative approach. So how are you going to get any positive out of it?
Well, the thing is that they're taking hold of young middle-class white guys. We're not middle-class white guys. They're just taking people from outside of the community. They bring them into Hendon. They train them for about 2 or 3 weeks. And then, boom, they're out on the street. And all they've got is the stereotypes of what they believe the black community to be.
And that's where we come into trying to break down the stereotypic black guy. And every black guy is a drug dealer. Every black youth is a gangster, just because of the clothes they wear. But that's the style they're wearing at the moment. So it doesn't mean they're a gangster. They might be just walking to the chicken shop. You know what I mean? But, I've known Anton for a long time, and he knows how long I've been doing this. I was the first one to do a march about gun and knife crime from Trafalgar Square to Scotland Yard at 10 Downing Street. And I don't do television anymore, because every time I'm talking on television, someone's dying. So what's the point of talk? Talk is cheap. So I'd rather do it. And there's only a few people that's doing it in the trenches. So you see some guys that I know are doing patrols for the schools at the present moment because of this. But we shouldn't have to be doing it. Our parents are supposed to be doing it. And if you can't do it, you've got an aunt or uncle or a bigger brother to go and pick up the child. I've seen kids at the bus stop at the age of 12. All right, they keep saying, no, Mum, I'm old enough to... No, you're not old enough to go to school on your own. People don't understand. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen them without a box of trainers shown outside the car to get them in the car. It happens all... I mean, I haven't even started to scratch the surface yet, because I'm gonna let you lot talk.
But don't you think it's a wide?
Deep, I'm gonna get deep, and
no, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. But don't you think it's a wider issue? Because you mentioned that there are children who are coming home from school by themselves, but we also know that it takes 2 wage packets to run a household, really and truly, right? I mean, I applaud all the single parent mothers out there. I really and truly do. You know, sometimes it's not a case of parents not wanting to be there for their children. But if you're doing a 9 till 5, you're not going to be able to get back in time to be with the children. And what I'm beginning to see now is that there are, because you say it's down to the parents. We are the parents.
No. I'm not saying
we are the elders.
I'm not just saying it's down to the parents.
Okay.
Don't get me confused. Because I mean, at the end of the day, my mum did 2 jobs. Yeah. And still got us home from school and everything. You know what I'm saying? Night work and day work. But what I'm trying to say is, it's the whole system. The whole system is completely wrong. put it this way. You say that the parents are going to work to put bread on the table. Understandable. There's one parent family. Understandable. But what's the school system doing? The education system doing? If you can't get home and you feel scared to go home on your own, what's happened to after school clubs? What's happened to these after school clubs?
What's happened to the village? What's happened to the village?
What's happened to youth centers that you can go to? And when you're finished, when your mum or your dad or anybody's finished work, they can pick you up from these places.
Margaret Thatcher closed them all down.
That's right. They don't exist. So where do you want these kids to be? Where do you want them to be? If they can't get in their house, or they've lost their key, because everybody, all of us have lost our key to get in the house. Right? Where do you want us to be? It's only the street. And what is the street? It's to pray for gangs, for pedophiles, for kidnappers. And like a lady said, trafficking is high. People don't think it is. Trafficking is so high. And I've been saying this a long time, before they even started to talk about county lines. I was telling them this years ago. About 10 years ago, it goes, kids are getting taken off the street and getting sent to country areas and selling drugs. And then just keep them there till they've done the quota, when they don't need them anymore, and send them back home. But no one ain't talking about it. Yeah. Nobody is talking about it. It's only till certain kids get taken off the street, sorry to say, they start to talk about it.
You get a knee-jerk reaction. But the thing is that there are a lot of people who are waking up. I mean, just listen to this.
Yo, peace, love, guidance, protection to the people. Like, I just want to take a few minutes to speak on something that's very important to me, and it's very important to a lot of people that's been going on with our young people, young women and young males. They've been getting kidnapped at an alarming rate, which is very, 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 very worrying. And it's like, there's no news media coverage. There's no people from mainstream media, no politicians. There's no people that's really on it, that how they're supposed to be on it. Now, us as the people, we need to be getting on it. All the man them was out there talking about you're real and you're representing something. What the man them need to be doing is linking up. Yeah, getting some vans, because a lot of people like to get rentals, driving around in the flashy cars and all of that. Get some money, put some money together. Even me, I'll put money out of my own pocket. I'm all for that. Yeah, get some vans and that, so that kids can start getting dropped to school if mums and that can't be doing it. All the parents and all the people that go to certain schools start getting each other's numbers, start communicating, start building back links and unity, so that if anything's happening, we can all make a movement, or people who are in that group or wherever, do you understand? In different areas, different man them, different people need to be doing something about it, because I'm all for it. Even in the morning, certain times in the mornings, after school times, you understand, when the children are going home from school, we got certain people in certain places to protect the young ones, because what's going on right now, it ain't a game, you understand? And I got children, I got godchildren, I got nieces, I got nephews. Are you crazy? Like, things that is making me think about, and things I'm prepared to do. I don't know how some of you lot are feeling, but I know what I know, yeah? And if these kids are getting kidnapped, it's only one or two things, do you understand? Yeah. Sex trafficking, organ parts, and death. Some little, I don't even want to be thinking about those things, but as I said, people, please come together, try to formulate some kind of ideas and get together and unify, because there's too much of them guys missing, and it actually hurts my heart to see this shit. Do you get me? And I'm willing to do whatever I can do. And as I said, even if we got to rent some mini buses so that the kids can get to school safe and they can get home safe, even if we got to put together whatever we got to do, because the community, yeah, need to come together. Do you understand? Politicians and the governments don't care about us. Can't you see? They want your votes all the time. They want you to pay taxes, but they don't want to do what they're supposed to do for us as a people. So it's time we start doing what we need to do as a people. And as I said, I'm up for whatever it is that we got to do for our young ones. You understand? Those that know me, shout me. Those that don't, or those of you who don't even know anybody, if you don't even know whoever, make links, communicate, build links, unify. because this is all that we need to do to understand, to make these people stop doing things that they think they can just get away with and do all day, every day. Nah, it's getting on my nerves now. It's proper upsetting me. So people, please, can we do something about this? You get me? The real people, the people that actually got love in their art and want to see a change and do something, all link up. Peace, love, guidance, protection to all.
So you see, your voice is actually being echoed, Stefan. It's actually being echoed.
You know what it is? It's a guy who's been doing it for years as well. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So it shouldn't just be the it's always the same guys who are doing something. It shouldn't be like that. I mean, I'm sick and tired of saying it. Talk is so cheap, man. Talk is so cheap. You can put on Facebook anything what you want, and everyone will like. Oh, we went to a rave. You get about flipping how many £1,000 likes.
Yeah.
But then when you put up something about our kids are getting misses, they think, oh wow, let's get away from that. But they don't get away from it when it's their child. I get calls all the. It's happening in Pimlico, Enfield, Croydon, Mitcham, Bromley. And then City Calm says, come to London because you must do a holiday in London now.
Right.
Or holiday in London to get your kids stolen or get them killed or get them knifed. So what's the holiday in London about? Why aren't us on the news? Why aren't us all here as a collective? Why aren't we on the news talking about exactly what we're doing now? Talking about how our community is getting smashed by people who we don't know. They say it's Eastern European people. It might be. I heard it is, but I can't put my finger on it. But we'll find them because we're out now. We've got a collective going out looking for these people. But then what I'm trying to say, it shouldn't be us looking for the people. It's supposed to be the police. It's same as knife crime. That only happens when the police come around is when there's been a stabbing and they mop up and then they catch the brother. Prevention is better than cure. So the prevention we've got to do is make our communities and us understand as we're the grown-ups now. We're the elders.
Right.
Yeah? Right. We're the elders now. So we're supposed to make our people understand, you know what, we've got to keep up on our kids. No matter if it's grooming, no matter if it's trafficking, no matter if it's drugs, no matter if it's gang warfare, no matter if it's knives, it all comes to one. It all goes into one. But at the present moment, it's just going out of control. Every day a child is going missing. Every single day, every minute of the day. I guarantee before they've even gone to school now, some child's gone missing. Do you understand? And it's not acceptable. It's not acceptable anymore. We've got to look after our children. And if our parents can't do it because they're going to go to work, then call us. We'll take your child to school. It's a simple thing. We'll find someone if we go to the school, we go to the Pacific schools and say, if you could, remember that we used to do car share. Do you remember the car share?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Another parents can't take another child to school and pick them up? It's always a conversation, talk.
I'll tell
you what, sorry to hold you,
no, that's all right, bro. No, it's okay. That's why you're here, bro.
I'm arranging a meeting, right, with everybody. And next week, we're going to do a big vigil outside Mr. Khan's office about this kidnapping.
Good.
Because it's action, right? But at the end of the day, I'm all for all these actions, but I want a meeting for families to come. A meeting for families to come to say, you know what? This is what we are proposing, but we need the community's help.
My question, this is my question to you, though. I mean, how in touch are you with Dean Akai?
Who?
Dean. How do I pronounce it?
Yeah.
Are you aware? You're aware of the umbrella organisation that he's trying to construct and put together at the moment? Because it sounds like a lot of disorganisation within the community, so is that we're operating under one banner. So is that
it's got to be under one umbrella? Because even in the knife and gun crime, you've got so many organisations pretending they're doing great stuff. But do you see anything changed? Nothing ain't changed. Because I keep telling people, the bad man who doing all the knife and gun crime are not going to come to your workshop. They're not going to come to your youth centre. They're not going to come to have a talk with you. You've got to go into the Lions Den and have a chat and see where the problems are. So that's why we was different. We went actually into the gangs, on the street and talked to the people.
Yeah,
not wait for them to come to us.
I remember seeing videos of that. I saw videos.
And so at the end of the day, it's got to be an umbrella with everybody, not egos. Oh, I want to be on telly. I want to be this. I want to be that. No, it's about saving our children. Plain and simple. If we're all on the same barrier and we're on the same level, we save our children together.
But this is what I feel. This is what I feel has been missing, though, because it's like when we talk about, oh, you don't know who you are. Everyone talks about Black history. We know who the pyramids were built by. We know who Lewis Latimer is. We know all of these things. Yeah, we know about our past. We know where our present is. But what we don't have is we don't seem to have some coordinated organization. We don't seem to have some sort of structure that's going to allow us to work and coordinate these efforts. Right. I mean, only the other day we've just had a landmark decision that took place in Lambeth. Yeah, and already there is squabblings going on between two different factions about who should be controlling and running the reparations sort of like thing. I mean, where is the organisation that's going to be needed? When are the elders going to wake up to the fact that this is what we need? Right, I'm not saying there are too many leaders and not enough. There are too many chiefs and not enough followers.
Indians,
yeah. But it seems to me to be the case that it's very much a case of that, and it's this sort of thing that we need to get behind in order to coordinate the efforts that you're making reference to, Stefan.
Yeah, I agree with you completely, because Anton will tell you how hard he's had to struggle to do just even the radio stations and things like that, because there's too many egos. There's too many people think, I'm not paying. Why am I not paying £5 to put in a pot when he ain't paying? Don't worry about that person. You still put your £5 in.
Yeah.
You understand? And we're talking about getting minibus vans. It's right. It doesn't. We can go to these minibus companies, rental people, say, can you do us a loan for the kids, for community? Could you loan a van every day, one van, but even this one, and it might go into more, it might go into more. It's all it is conversation. And I guarantee you, even like when I do park things, I go to Tesco's and say, can you sponsor us on some groceries or some Easter eggs? And they say yes. It's a conversation that I've learned in life. If you don't ask, you don't get.
Right. But I think if there's, in agreement with you, if there's enough community people together, you can put in funding for stuff like that. Because in actual fact, having community funding to support the transportation of children to and from school from their house, particularly for those who are working parents, it completely feeds the criteria for certain funding. So it makes sense for people to come together and have a call to action. And like Dean was saying last week, they have people that can draw down those fundings. They are aware, they are replicating what is happening in other communities. So in actual fact, all we need is more people to be accountable and responsible enough so that more voices are heard. So yeah. Get my vote.
So what's happening now is by Monday or Tuesday, there's going to be a main base somewhere in central London where we're going to have a big meeting for everybody out of London, or in London, in the communities where these things are happening. Even if it's one representative of every area to come, so we can discuss what we're planning and what you think of the plan and what you feel that we should do even more, because we're planning on doing these sorting out, instead of waiting up for red tape for other people. Bam, bam, bam. We do it now, not next week when other kids have gone missing. We're doing it now. You know what I mean? Same as the police. We can't wait on the police. We can't wait on the government. We can't wait on Mr. Boris. You know, we can't wait on none of these people. Yeah, they haven't said anything. You know what? It's a shame they haven't said not one thing on the news. You know, about all these kids being missing. And it's not just one child.
Going for years, though. It's been going on for so long.
But we as a community as well have got to start saying enough is enough of that. You've got to start telling the people exactly what's happening on the street. You can't gloss over how many kids have been missing. I'm sorry to say, and I don't care if anyone don't like me. If it was white kids missing at this rate, it'd be all over the news. It'd be all over the news. But white kids are getting missing too, but not as much as the black children are getting missing. They're getting taken off the street. And keep blaming, they must be doing county lines. They must be doing county lines. They're not all county lines. Some of them slaves. Some of them been taken out of the country already.
Yeah.
You've got to understand there's a bigger picture than that. You understand? So we've got to stop it. As a community, we can stop it, you know, because we can be the eyes of the street. So if you see a dodgy van or dodgy people, it's no hardship to write down that number plate and send it to whoever it is, or send it to us so we can investigate that there and then. Like we said, we've got people in every area. We can come to that person right straight away and say, what's going on, bro? What are you doing? We've got to police ourselves, man. We have to. We really do have to. We've got to keep an eye out. Remember the neighborhood watch? How good that turned out to be? Why can't we be the neighborhood watch for our own community? We've got to. And the schools have got to do a lot more as well. The schools have got to teach. That's why we go in schools and talk. We've got to teach our youth what not to do. We had it when I was at school, that's a very long time ago. They still talk about stranger danger. We talked about stranger danger. They don't do it in schools anymore. They don't talk about don't take this, don't talk to strangers. Yeah, go on, see you. As soon as you're at the gate, they don't care. See you later. Ta-da. And let's gather around the chicken shop. And all it takes is some guys to say, do you want some chicken? I'll have some chicken. Well, let's go around the yard and play some PlayStation. You're gone. You're gone. The kid's gone.
So remind us once again about this meeting that's taking place.
Well, I haven't got the exact venue yet because I've talked to a few venues, but the meeting's going to happen on either Tuesday or Wednesday. Roughly between 6 and 7 when people finish work or people, and then it's not going to be long. It's not going to be one of them meetings where somebody's died and there's pure argument. It's not going to be that. It's going to be discussion of right. This is what we want to do next step forward tomorrow, as in the Wednesday. This is what we're going to start doing. Do you agree? Or what input do you have? We can't just say to ourselves, "Right, we know it all," because we don't know it all. You understand? I know the streets. Some people don't know the streets. Some people might have vans already to say, "I've got a minibus van." Another thing, while I'm singing on that song, churches have got minivans.
Come on now.
Churches have got minivans.
Let's go.
You're supposed to be helping the community. Help the community with the minivans. Help the community with the minivans, because they're standing up here till Sunday for you to drop them to people from church to home. Use them during the week, dropping kids home, or even to your church hall, so the parents can pick them up. How about that?
Yeah, man.
Come on, man. We've got to think out of the box.
How about you? The moment that you've got the venue, that you please do inform me, and then I can inform the Rants and Bants, and we'll spread it, and we'll try and get as many people to get involved, or at least to get down there. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Because I must say there are some great people out on the street, right? I'm sorry I keep talking.
No, it's okay. That's why you're here. That's why you're here.
Yeah, no apology.
Why you're here.
I'm glad you've taken the opportunity. I'm glad you've taken the opportunity to come and share with us your journey, because as much as we hear about you, this is a conversation to actually know you, get to know what you're doing, what the works you're doing as well. Apart from like the current issue, right? The knife and gun crime business is still going on. It's still going on, right? So what exactly are you doing around that as well?
Well, I mean, the honest to God, the truth about the matter is, the gun and knife crime, as you know, I'm at the point where it's just getting beyond control, because we're supposed to have been on lockdown, but kids are killing each other. But we're on lockdown. I don't get it. That please don't see the streets are empty, but you can't see this. But they can see you when you're driving in a lane and give you a ticket. But you can't see somebody over there getting stabbed. So what is your cameras really there for? What are they really there for? And another thing is the gun and knife crime is escalating even worse, because I go into schools and I talk and I say to them, how many people do you know carries a knife? The whole class stand up. How many people you know who's been stabbed? The whole class stand up. Then I say to the class, how many people think they're going to reach over 19 stand up? Only half of them stand up. Only half of them stand up, and the majority that stand up are the girls.
Yeah.
The boys don't think they're gonna last. So if you've got in your head that you ain't gonna last till you're 19, what are you gonna do within them 3 years, 4 years on the street. What are you going to do? If you think you're going to get stabbed, you're going to carry a knife. If you think you're not going to make it, you're just going to do some stupid things in your life. We've got to tap into their mentality to show them it's a better way of life than what you're doing exactly now. And
which is why I do see it as a bigger. The issue is so much bigger. It all comes down to the economic growth that we do not have when it comes to business. So is that our children are not going out begging other people for a job, but we are actually supplying them with that work. So is that we are the ones that are leading them down the path in order to where they want to get to. And that's why I'm so behind a man like Dean, who has a plan. The man has a plan.
But Dean will tell you. Dean will be the first one to tell you how many people have he's had to fight against his plan. How many people? How many people have said, no, we don't want this. We don't want to put our money in. We don't want this. We don't want. He's been.
But this is the narrative that we have to reverse. This is the narrative. I'm going to
tell you the truth. We can't. Because I tell you why. I tell you why.
Okay.
I'm hated. You're hated. Everybody's hated. Everybody's hated, right? But why should you hate people who are trying to make our youth grow into better people than what we was? I don't get it. How can you fight against the system? So that's why things keep happening, because you're gonna put people down who are helping our youth. I don't care. I've been hated all my life. But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna stop trying my hardest, trying my best to help our youth. Because if I stop doing it, who's gonna do it? Who's gonna be the mouthpiece? Because you know my mouth. I don't care. I haven't sworn today on your radio show. Because you know what?
Respect to that.
I don't want to beep, you know.
No, respect to that.
What I'm saying is, you know, I don't care when I talk. I've been into 10 Downing Street. I've been into Scotland Yard, and I swear to them, I said, you're not doing it right. Look how many years for even a kidnapping. You're not doing it right. You're not doing it right. How many years we've been telling you how to do it? But then you haven't. I've talked to Mr. Khan.
Which is why I come back and I say it comes back down to us taking it into our own hands.
And I've been saying it for years and years.
As much as people want to cry down Dean, I have not seen anybody put forward. I mean, like I said, everyone's talking about Black history. Everybody's talking about looking backwards. I believe in Sankofa. Don't get me wrong, but nobody has spoken about how do we move forward. Right? Nobody's talking about how do we organize?
How we move forward is right. How I move forward, and our Stop Our Kids plan was this. Yeah, is this not was is this? We want a safe house in every area. One safe house, say that one in Croydon, one in Lewisham, one in Endon, one in Enfield, Tottenham, everywhere, which is an umbrella house where it's a safe house for. If you're coming home from school, you go there. If you're in trouble by a gang, you go there. But in that safe house is drug counsellors, mental health. We haven't even touched on the mental health what the kids are going through yet. We haven't started on that, right? The mental health, doctors, anything, lawyers, anything to do with a community. That is what Dean's
talking about how we strategize.
Anything to do with a community under one house. But this house in every area. Not just one area, every area. And how we can get these houses, let's the community take over the old youth centres.
But that's what I'm trying to say. I mean, we've got to understand what Dean is actually trying to do. You know, and it's time for people to understand that we need a strategy.
Yeah.
You know, it's everyone, there's so many different splintered organizations out there, but we are not working together as an umbrella. Right, that's going to allow what we need to happen for us to move forward. You know, this is something.
You know what? Things have moved forward. You know, I think moving forward a lot. I mean, just for example, it's touching people now more than ever has.
Right.
Yeah. The gun and knife crime is like on the telly now. You think, oh, what, another one? Sure. And it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like it's madness. But you know what? I feel like the community's got to start coming out more now.
That I agree with.
We as the catalyst are more informed we're more informed than our parents. So we're the first generation British. We are more informed, we're more astute. That's not to say that our parents are not intelligent, but in actual fact, the whole thing about strategy and the whole thing about disseminating and working with the masses, because there's enough of us, rather than thinking that we're elite and that we're just being our own little islands, we need to come together and re-energize and start being the catalyst and making that work go forward. So I hear what you're saying about acquiring youth centres, but because of youth mental health, youth work is going to be back up on the rise. So you'll see it changing, because the whole rescue and you know, take away and then rescue and do good, that kind of change is coming about. Yeah, because I was a youth worker for 27 years, and then the time of my redundancy was a time when they were wiping out a lot of the youth work. So that's coming about because it is needed, and that isn't just going to be about our young people, that is going to be about young people across the nation, I suppose, the whole of the
and
UK.
Families,
What will still happen is our children will still get abducted if we don't strategize and say. So the youth service will be there working with young people, but then our young people will leave from the youth service and get abducted, or they'll go to the youth service as they're going to the youth centres and get abducted before they get there. And so we need to have strategies in place that, one, inform us more so, but two, also inform. So if the police come to us or politicians come to us, we know what we're talking about. We're not just disbanded and disjointed organisations that are working in
I will cut you there. Can I cut you there? Sorry to interrupt you there.
No, it's fine.
You see what you just said when the police and that come to us? The police have been coming to us for years. And we've told them exactly what to do, exactly what we're doing, how we're doing it, and how we're going about it.
So
hold on. When I take guns and knives off the streets, and when Farron takes guns and knives off the street, when other people take guns and knives off the street, and we're taking them back to a police station, we're getting stopped and trying to get done for the knives and the guns that we're taking off the street. When the commander-in-chief knows that we're doing it, and we're still getting abused and pulled out the car and handcuffed.
Yeah, which is why we're
trying to point out element that if we do have a strategy and we do have people in place who are talking on the various levels that we need them to be talking on, we will get the correct support that we need. It's just that we're too splintered at the moment.
No.
Come on, Stefan, man.
No, I don't agree with you there because
I'm
also saying
because I've been to 10 Downing Street. I've been to Scotland Yard. I've been to the highest places you can ever go. All they do is chat.
Yes,
chat.
But
The only way we're going to make a change. The only way we're going to make a change today is for us as a collective saying, right, this is how we're doing it, and we tell the police how we're doing it, not for them to tell us how we must do it.
One second, Stefan.
We're not arguing with you. We're agreeing with you.
No.
And one of the things that you're saying
I'm not arguing.
No, I'm just saying it's just that it's a figure of speech. And look at Aston laughing at me. You wait till afterwards. Anyway. So
and where's my t-shirt?
What I'm saying is this: when you go to Downing Street or when you go to the police, when you go on your own, they never listen because you look like the angry, compassionate, stereotypical black man that they expect you to be. So even if you're diplomatic and you go on your own, we're not a voice enough. When we start coming together and strategizing and literally playing their game, and we entertain in the way in which they entertain and get money and work and create capacity so that we can work with our children and inform them rightly, it happens, it comes about. So then you get the police coming going, oh, there's 12 or 32 in one in each borough. Let's look at this. Let's put some money into this, or let's mirror this somewhere else. Let's get someone else. Or why don't we try it in the far off reaching? That is what happens. if we start doing it, and in silo, you have one in Birmingham, one in London, and one in Scotland, how does that show community? In actual fact, if more people come together and we're a little bit more proactive about it and continue to be proactive, I'm going to say one thing. I'm looking at a totally different thing. David Attenborough talked about recycling plastic. Yeah, and he was on his own and he's been talking about it for years. And then suddenly a group of people said, we need to do something about this. And they started doing it and they became more unified. So now you get more recycled plastic. You get people not using plastic. You get people. And that came from one person thinking of a strategy and thinking about how he can implement change. So there is something about implementing change. There's also something about us coming together to help that implementation of change to be more effective. Because when it's just you on your own, Stefan, you sound, as they think, angry. But actually what it is passion.
No. We don't agree with you there. I don't agree with you there.
No, that's fine. That's fine. We don't have to agree. Don't get me wrong. I brought you here to converse with everybody.
No, I'm not saying I don't agree.
Sorry, Stefan. I want to hear your voice. Stefan, I do want to hear your voice.
All right, but hold on.
Let me just say one thing. I mean, if we're going to effectively have change, it has to be from policy. Once a policy is made, change comes about. Yeah. Now, Stefan, go.
What I'm saying is, I agree with a lot of things you're saying there. I honestly do agree with a lot of things you're saying there. But what I'm trying to say is, I've heard it all before, in the sense that not what you're saying at all. I'm disagreeing. But we've gone we've had meetings, not just me on my own, and I'm not going there shouting. I don't look rough. I have a nice suit on. I have everything. I'm diplomatic. I'm everything. I'm not shouting, and I'm talking positively about how we're going to change our youth, how we can interject police, community, and strategy, and everything. Yeah. And you come away from the meeting feeling so positive because this is how we want it. Talking the way they want it. Politicians. I've been in with politicians, 10 and police and everything. Everything's cool, everything's safe. You come away feeling so positive, right? They actually heard us. That actually we're doing things.
How many of the black community support you once you've been there? That's the issue, because you know that the police or whoever the politicians are not necessarily going to support you. So therefore, once you've been there and they seem happy and you come away feeling happy, who then helps you to make that manifestation? That's what it is. So if it's not the police, if it's not the politicians, we then need to bring a call to action. So and what happens is you come back and you feel great, you feel energized, and then no one supports you. And that it doesn't become a colour thing. No one supports you. So then you keep doing and you keep repeating yourself until you get to a point where there's a call to action where people suddenly start saying, actually, there does need to be prevention action. We can't be reactionary anymore. We can't let another child be abducted. Yeah. We have to start being more preventative, enabling that.
How I did it before, and then it's exactly how Stop Our Kids came about. Exactly what you're saying. It wasn't a case of me coming away from being so supportive and then the community not helping me. How I started Stop Our Kids being killed on the street is the same way. I said me, because our kids were getting killed on our street in bad way. Children, I called a meeting and I had the community come and said, and they said, why don't you be the spokesman of this? Because Steph, you know what you're talking about. You've been in a gang, you've done it, you're blam, 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 blam. You know how to do it. You don't take no rubbish. I went to the meetings for the police and everything. I came away feeling positive. They didn't get response. So the community supported me, and that's how I got to do everything that I had to do, and I'm where I am now. So I understand exactly what you're saying. So that's why I never rely on police or government anymore. That's why I say it's the community now who've got, like you said, have got to start to make the change where we come together, we get ourselves into a position where we are one with everything. In our communities, we've got doctors, we've got mentors, we've got social workers, we've got people like yourself.
This is my point. We have all of this in place, but we don't have it in place in such a way that it's going to really affect policy. And
we're going to start from Monday.
That's where
Tuesday. We're going to have a meeting Monday and Tuesday, and we're starting it straight away. We're not waiting till next month, next year, till any more of our kids get missing. We're going to start it straight away. I'm going to tap into some churches, tap into places who've got vans, so that we can start from Wednesday bringing out the vans to certain schools. What we know, it's not just even certain schools,
Where there's
anywhere,
vulnerable children,
where there's
young people.
vulnerable young children who can't get home. Or even the kids that have to take a Uber home because they can't go through an estate because there's gun and knife crime. We've got to go. We've got to do all those kind of things, and it's us to do it now. We can't wait on anybody else. We can't. So I agree exactly what you. I love to sit down and talk to you, my dear, because I love the way you talk.
Please.
I take you to the meetings with me.
And on that note, we've hit the hour. Ladies and gentlemen, we've actually hit the hour
already.
Yeah, we've actually hit the
hour.
I
only scratched the surface, man. I only scratched the surface.
I know. That's just it. It's not.
And
it's
I
not long enough.
was waiting for my T-shirt in the post. It never come, man.
So I encourage everybody to go to the to my website liquid.co.uk where they can obtain their T-shirts. They are now available. Well, the thing is, as you know,
my size, man.
we do. We really do. As you know, we are self-funded, so we need people to actually go out and support the merchandising that we have out there to keep this platform.
I'm not putting my fiver in if he ain't putting his fiver in. You know what? Before you leave, right? I want to say, right? It's good to get out on so people can understand exactly what's happening on the street. And thank you for the platform, because I can do plenty of platforms, but I will go onto platforms where I know it's going to actually hit the community. So I do thank you and thank you all of you.
Thank you for your time.
And Anton, we will link as well. And Rudi, thank you for bringing me last night and jumping me on. I don't mind doing it. But I'm going to have my cornflakes now. So, you know.
All right. Thank you very much, Stefan, bro. Thanks for joining us. Later.
Woo! Can I call you Anton?
Oh, there we go. That was Stefan Brown.
You can call me whatever you like here. all my life, people have always mispronounced my name, and you know what? I just say, if that's what you see, that's what you hear. I saw it.
Fair play. Yeah. That was very diplomatic. Yeah, very articulate, man. Well, passion.
There was a lot of passion there, and it's very understandable, especially if you know the background of Stefan and where he's actually coming from. You know, but there are a lot of community members who are out in the community now. I think we're operating too much as individuals and not really coming together underneath one umbrella that's going to look after all of our interests. It's a case of
the thing is that we're concerned about us, and we see it's happening to our young people, right? It's all the young people who's in that school that are victims of that, right? Black, white, Chinese, Indian, all of them is under pressure, right? Of course, we're going to be looking for ours initially, right? But when we look right across the board, because as much as they say it's happening to black children, the other children are saying it could happen to us, right? So it's a thing of
but
that.
Here's the difference. I think here's the difference. I think here's the difference, though, is that when it happens to a Chinese person or a Jewish person, all right, they've got the connections straight to government, straight to make policy decisions, straight to make things happen. Whereas we end up going towards the police, right? And the police obviously are limited in terms of in what they can do. We go to Mr. Khan; he's limited again in terms of what he can do. So once we've got people like Dean's strategy in place, and we have all the necessary heads who can directly make an impact, we can see change.
Yeah,
we can see change. I mean, when we talk about grassroots organizations, just look how low they are on the whole thing. Right down the bottom is grassroots organizations, which is where Stefan is to a certain degree. You know, and we need to go further up the ladder to make these changes. So, we've got people who are operating on different levels.
Yeah.
To make the change that we really and truly need to see. I mean, what do you think, Natural?
I listened intently, and I listen a lot. I observe, and when I realised that I could be part of the solution, I went and volunteered with a very small number of people in Northwest London. They called themselves Standing With Our Children. And this was not long after Kwamari was killed outside his school in Willesden. So we decided that we would then have a like a guardian angel system, for example, like what they had in the States. And we used to wait outside the schools, on the corners, at the bus stops, and we would just literally just help children disperse the area, get on buses, go home, and just literally be there day by day by day. But the problem is that I can't volunteer 7 days a week.
That's right.
From 2 till 5. I need the man them. I need this person. I need come out the record shop, come out the bookies, come out. And not only that, we needed SIA badges, because if we are going to put ourselves in those positions, we have to be insured. My mum was more scared that I'm defending somebody's child that I don't know, and I'm going to be stabbed trying to defend somebody's child. So we then had to make sure things were done legally. And this is the thing with this. We have to make sure, like you said, Rudi, that there are procedures, there are policies, we have our insurances, we are covered, we are vetted, and we do things by this book, because they will not take us seriously unless we have these little bits of paper.
I mean, if anybody knows about security, Coach Astrid, I mean, it's something that you do. It's actually something that you do. So when we talk about strategies and policies, what are your thoughts?
We have to do things, we have to start doing things differently, because if we keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting the same results, it's not going to happen. So we have to change the way in which we approach things so that we get the results that we are after. So I was listening to what was being said, and it was very much a case of, yes, he's spoken to this person, yes, he's spoken to that person, but looking at what Dean was saying last week around having that strategy around how we take this different approach now and how we do it differently, and we go all the way down, and we have the trustees, and we have all the different segments, and we work our way down, then only through having something like that will we bring about the change that we really, really want. And it's not about giving up at the first hurdle just because this has happened in the past and that has happened in the past. It's about continuously fighting until we get the change. You know, it's a bit like apartheid in South Africa. It wasn't until people had to keep fighting until that change happened. It's not about giving up at the first hurdle. It's about finding different ways to actually achieve what it is you want to achieve.
Because believe it or not, in around 1919, when the First World War took place and the first African soldiers were over here, they actually did that. They actually did that.
Yeah.
All right. And when 1958 came along, and we had another set of riots, all of that kind of like fell to the wayside. Yeah, for some reason, and we didn't really get a foothold politically to make any kind of change. And I'm just hoping that we don't make the same mistakes. Because otherwise, to that, like you said, one of the reasons why we're getting so much passion from the likes of Stefan is because he is banging on the door, right? But there is, I mean, on the higher echelons, he hasn't got the support to make what he wants happen.
Okay, so sometimes we think we've got to do things in large numbers to have an effect. And that is not always the case. I'll be honest with you. Numbers do help, definitely. Again, a couple of years ago, I went on a small demonstration with a small group of about 30 to 40 people. And we went to Google, for example, and we demanded that certain videos get taken down. You know, after petitions, the march and the demonstrations, all of that. And the CEO from Google came down the stairs from his office upstairs and listened to what it is that we had to say. And within 24 hours, several thousand videos were removed from YouTube that condoned and portrayed violence. So 50 people can do that.
And that's an astute number. So that in itself, if you went on your own, would he have made the effort to come down and speak to you? The fact that there was a group of you astutely ready to articulate your concerns meant that they needed to listen. So you're right, it doesn't need to be thousands of people, but when there's only 3 or 4, we just look like a group of angry vigilante kind of parenting type of people. But actually, if we go with the Dean mentality and think, we've got a lawyer, we've got a doctor, we've got a social worker, we've got, and the group of us, there's 20 people go and say, we now need to listen. You now need to listen to us. So we now need to be heard and you now need to listen. So if we do that and we take the mantra in saying, this is how we're moving forward, people will listen to us. Of course they will.
And it's
Because
also
we're here now as 5 individuals and people listen to us.
Listen to us.
Now,
exactly.
I can get angry. I can be that passionate, rear off my mouth when I need to. But I actually know that some of my angst and compassion needs to be controlled and be appropriate in appropriate places. So what you will get is you will get the articulate Julie that says, I've got a master's. I used to lecture at university. Don't come trying to bullshit me. Bullshitting a bullshitter here. I played the game. So in actual fact, when you start talking about acquiescence, I'm the first person that will tell you that I understand that.
Okay.
Yeah. So they don't need to, because then what happens is they listen to people not just because they have compassion, but because they understand that they have the intelligence, they have the infrastructure, they have the strategies, and they have all of the other stuff. And you went diplomatically, and he said that he went diplomatically. We put on a suit. They know that we wear suits. That don't mean nothing to them. They know we wear suits now.
Exactly. And it's about talking to the right people who can have the impact for us and getting the support of the right people who can have the right impact for us. It's not just about talking to this person just because. It's about seeing who it is who will have the biggest impact for us and help us achieve what it is.
But something he said that was really quite significant and could change immediately around community. Church vans? What?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
How innovative is that? They don't do anything except on a Sunday. Get them to work for the 5 days.
Exactly.
Come on now.
Exactly.
I don't live in London. I live just outside London, and you would be shocked at the disparity in regards to the way that the school children are actually treated where I am in Hertfordshire. Quite a few of the schools, comprehensive state schools, they do have school buses, or they hire coaches, they hire double-decker buses. They do. The school themselves would prefer to say to the parents, right, we're going to charge you an extra £5 per term per pupil so we can fund the buses and whatnot. And it's because it's quite rural. Not all children live near bus stops or near city centres. Some of them live on farms. They live quite far out and that sort of thing. But they make sure that they get them to and from school as safe as possible.
Interestingly, they do have quite a few in Birmingham as well that do that.
Yeah, so it's not something that cannot be achieved. And it is, look at the States. They've got the yellow school bus. Literally every school child has at some point ridden on a yellow school bus. How can we say that we can't achieve the same in this country, but yet we think we're this so powerful cousin of America, whatever it is? It's an absolute joke. That's all it is.
Which is why I come back again to the fact that as Africans, we just don't seem to have that one organization that enables all of this to happen. And that's why I think that Dean is such an important person at this stage of our development. I mean, he's not talking about being a leader.
Correct.
He's talking about being a strategist who can put this in place. So as that the heads of the Man Academy, etc., can fall in line, and that we can all work together, moving in one direction. I think ADPAC is something that I would love to have burnt into people's minds. I mean, I remember how this platform actually started. It started with a rant about 5 little N-words. Okay. That was a book that was on Amazon. Okay. And we all got together and we started making noise, and then the Metro got involved, and then the next thing that we knew, we had it removed. All right. We didn't get the books that were selling for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds removed, but it was not something you could put into Amazon and automatically find anymore. But if we have strategists such as Dean working on our behalf. Just imagine how more cohesive the community would become and would be, you know. And it's not just the case of knife crime, you know, that we're dealing with. We're actually dealing with economics. We're dealing with education. We're dealing with employment. We're dealing with health. We're dealing with housing. We are dealing with the justice system. Basically, we're talking about institutional racism and how do we dismantle it. You know, because that's when we start talking about racism. I'm not talking about someone calling me the N-word, you know, but that's just a bigot. Yeah, we're talking about a system, and if a proper system is put in place, our children will be protected. You know, the moment that one is taken off the street, you know, there's a big system that comes down on you.
Yeah.
You know, it's not one parent who's coming down on you; it's a system. Yeah. Right. That represents the Black British community. I mean, we should look across the Atlantic in terms of what they're doing. But the question is, how do we implement it, and what is it doing for us here?
Yeah.
You know,
there's no point. You can look at other different places and see what is working, and then, like you said, we can implement that so that we can make sure that we are looking after our youth.
I mean, there's been quite a few comments that's been going on, and don't think for 1 minute that we're ignoring you people, because I know a lot of you got to go to work. Donna Ben is saying, have to go to a meeting now. Powerful discussion. We definitely need to make more noise to protect our children. The community need to stop, think as individuals and come together again. You know, and I think her last sentence is that the most important thing, which is the community coming together and working as one. Boy, has it been a morning.
2 fiery weeks.
Done, everybody.
We're going to burn next week, Rudy. 2 fiery weeks. What we're going to burn next week? Come on.
Oh, I think we're gonna keep burning fire. That's all I know. We're gonna keep burning fire because the thing is, I love the Rants and Bants crew because not only do we laugh and joke, do you know what I mean? But we do hit the serious issues, and that's the thing that I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make this palatable in a way that people don't feel as though they're being banged over the head, you know, and that it's something that's going to draw them into a coma. But they can laugh as well, man. They can laugh as well. You know what I mean?
Them a think, them a bad man, but them a sad man, them a rascal. Take me have to send them back, God. Bring them to the war field, them a get healed. Walk around with them gun, me have to show them where the Zion. Jah will bless the true lion, bonfire upon the fake man, big up the righteous man. Cause them a chat, what them a chat.
Them a chat about, and them a chat. What's wrong? What's wrong? You like just don't seem impressed. What's wrong, man? What's going on?
Leish's face is
my internet just broke. Surely that was my internet. The firewall just broke. I need to go and speak to my virus protector and let them know how they let that rubbish infiltrate my laptop at this time. Go and find that sheet.
They make me lunch so that I'd be upset.
Oh my God!
Put that with Alfie and Donna.
You know what? That's going to be the intro to the show next week, isn't it?
Don't encourage him, please. Stop. Don't encourage him.
I will never talk about cheese again.
If you get me one of them lion t-shirts,
please don't play that again. I beg you.
Yeah.
Oh
the vulgar tune. But you know what was missing at the end of all of that? You know, Stefan, you done a great job. But where was the call to action? I'm a call to action person. Yeah, so we've heard you for 45 minutes. What do you need us to do? Not Monday, not Tuesday. Yeah, but yes, all right. So he's saying he has to wait till Monday or Tuesday in order to do something. Why? Because children do go missing. No.
Come on. Let's be fair, right? It's like, you know, an issue has come up, and we're debating and we're moving. It's about moving forward. You can't just go, all right, something has been said, something has been. So what we're going to do now? I mean, come on.
Yeah, but this is what it is. This is what loses our momentum and our focus. This is where I'm not dissing him. Okay. I'm just saying that he's looking for a premises in London where everybody can get to. Now, the chances of someone coming from South London to travel to Enfield, someone coming from wherever to get to this location is not always going to be feasible. He can access more people via a Zoom. You can get to Scotland via a Zoom. You don't need people in a physical room to have this meeting, is what I'm saying. Is that something could be done tonight. A Zoom could be arranged tomorrow, Sunday. We don't need to wait for, and who is he going to get who's going to give us the premises? Like, come on, like we've got to take the bull by the horns and be more proactive. Then that's all I'm saying.
I don't disagree with you on any level, but I think we have to this has to be organized. I think that things have to be start to be put into place. I think we can get there, right? But it's how we're going to get there. Do you know what I mean? And I'm 100%. In terms of what you were saying, I'm 100% in terms of you saying where's the call to action. But I think that was a call to action, right? I strongly do believe that it's something that we're pushing towards doing.
Okay, sorry, I disagree. But a call to action that I heard was we can't do nothing till Tuesday or Wednesday.
Well, I think then if that's all you're going to see, right, or if that's all you're going to hear, you know, then you become negative in that response. In that respect,
because I've been pounding pavements, and I'm not even a parent. I'm out there.
But so is he, and that's what he is saying. But what we're saying is that what have we really got missing? Do you know what I mean? Everybody's operating as individuals, and what I'm trying to point out is that with a man like Dean, we could stop doing that.
I wouldn't even have a policy like AdPack is what I would say, because Dean has tried to say that he doesn't want to be the only name behind the whole kind of strategy that he's got. He's speaking on behalf of AdPack as a representative.
That's correct.
The rest of us need to invest in that. But my frustration is why these people who say that they're not about ego are not talking to each other. That's my only question.
It's a good question. No, it's a good question.
Dean and Stefan, I know they do talk on a regular basis. They do liaise on a lot of projects. You understand? So it's not a case of that they're not talking, right? Obviously, Dean's at the moment is focused on the AdPack. Stefan is doing his thing with the community in the gun and knife crime, and obviously this has started in a new momentum, right? So it's not a case of, and I'm sure Dean is very aware of what's happening, what Stefan is actually doing and achieving, and
he's actually made a place for him. He's actually strategized and made a place for him. I mean, let's put our dirty washing on the frigging Lord right about now. You know, I mean, the word is egos. That's what I'm learning. That's what I'm beginning to see. There are egos. We've just now had this thing that happened at Lambeth, right? And already the Nation of Islam won each other's throat. We've already got the National Reparations Committee being questioned about what are they doing with the marches and everything. We've got one man who says, I want all of it coming underneath my umbrella. And to me, this is all a bullshit. This is the ego shit that is going on. This is where all this confusion is. That's why when you say, like, where's the call to action? It's like, well, who do I go to? Well, I want to be leader. Everyone's got to be coming to me. No. We need to stop that. We need to stop that and form this umbrella organization. And it's the one place that we go. It's the one place that we go.
The thing is that we on the station, the Galaxy, we had the minister there. He was talking on there, and part of the discussion, and they were talking about the differences of what was happening, or the different individuals what was represented on that court case there. And the point that I picked up on it is that he said, well, when they come to my door and asked me to be part of it, and I thought, that to me was so egotistical.
It was,
right?
Narcissistic.
And I thought to myself, that was so that really just sort of like said, well, I'm happy in my house until you come to my house and give me or posture yourself to me, right?
And give me the authority to control and run this.
African term, then that's when I would stand up and do something about it. And that to me is so wrong. So wrong. You know?
I think that's where the frustration is, you know, Lescha.
Yeah, I've seen that and witnessed that over the past few years now, when it's come to the reparation process. You know, that we'll be there at the event, and there'll still be a division, us as us at the event.
Yes.
You know, and like even last the last one there, it was because we wasn't able to actually do the march itself, right? So it was more stagnant, and the division that was there, it was terrible in my opinion. I was about to walk away. I was going to really walk away, and then I saw some people that I actually know down there, and that's what kept me there. But apart from that, it was atrocious. It's atrocious. Yeah.
So I understand your frustration, Lescha, and you're 100% right. I just think that it's the sheer fact that we are not moving as one people, because we don't, we're a people who don't come from boroughs. We're a people who come from kingdoms, and that's how it was, and information got assimilated down. But at the moment, it's like we're working as fractions, individuals. And no one's going to listen to us unless we come together as a body, like Julia said, with, people with the necessary education and articulation to create policy changes, because that's where it needs to take place.
No, I hear that. I mean, I've been in support of ADPAC since the beginning. I've known about them for 2 or 3 years, from when Dean first kind of sort of started speaking and putting things together before the document was even formulated. He knew what he wanted to strategize along with the others. So I was fully for it. Just his energy alone makes you realize that if I want someone to kind of lead me somewhere, I would like it to be a person, of that stature, if that's the case, and who doesn't take no punches, when it comes to how we are and what we need as a people. So I'm fully in support of in that respect.
I get that. It's just that I think it's great that we're showing the shortfalls, because I see myself as well down this strategy that he's got, and it's a case of how are we going to be, because I think to a certain degree you've got Dean, who's way up there, and we're more in touch with what's going on a little lower that on the ground, so to speak, and we're trying to bring these people in to take in this information and what's available to us if we come together as a set of people. Because what was pointed out straight away, we already know that if we start playing some music and stuff like that in the morning, right, we're going to get 300, 400, 500 people coming on this platform.
Easy.
We know that. But that's not the
route. It's a conversation now.
Yeah, that's not where we're going.
Yes,
it's a choice that I've made, and that you guys have gone along with, and you guys have said, well, okay, and that's why we're like-minded in that way. And we said it's better that we reach 30, 40, 50, people who are going to disseminate this kind of information into the community, because that's what we're trying to drip feed the community.
Oh, I hear that. I think I'm just in a position where where you sort of volunteer, you give your time, and you sort of hear similar things being said, and it takes a while before you feel that there's been an effective change or a shift in that way. I think that's all it is that I wish I could volunteer or give my time more in that respect.
No, you do a lot. You do a lot, girl. We know you do a lot. We know we do a lot. And there's only so many hours in a day, and it takes. We've often heard it takes a village. Individuals, it takes a village.
Yeah, I feel proud to be part of, like you said, Manhood and Womanhood Academy. We've also got Parenthood Academy, and I will start to drip feed, how we connect our dots and meet with other people and grow, not just as an academy, but so we've got that government, that not government protection, but governing protection.
Yeah.
From something like ADPAC. I'm very comfortable with the whole concept. I've never voted. I'm just going to keep it real. I've never voted. It's a waste of my time. But if I was to see ADPAC on a ballot form,
innit? The tick gone in, innit? The tick just gone.
Instantly.
It just lands.
Yeah,
it just lands.
Even if all their policies I don't agree with, just the fact that they're African-centered.
And that's the thing, we don't have anything that's African-centered.
Yeah.
Because I think Dean explained that the word black means that anybody can jump in, and they all do, and they grab they grab money that's been put aside that initially was put aside for us.
Yeah.
And then it's gone.
Yeah.
And that's why they included us in the BAME category, because now we can have one big fund rather than have your individual pot. You've got to divide up amongst all those other people that are brown as well.
Yeah.
Or would they do that with us?
Come on.
No is the answer to that. The answer is no. You know, I mean, we are animals to a certain degree, and we will stick with the animals that we know. Do you know what I mean? I like watching the meerkats. I watch the meerkats. I watch them. Do you know what I mean? And the way that they fight for territory and everything. And I think that's fucking humans. Those are humans. The way that they're behaving, they're behaving like humans. Do you know what I mean? I know I dropped the F-bomb. I did really well this morning.
You did. I've just got something. I was going to say, check because it's been quite a serious morning.
It's because of the timing, yeah.
Check the WhatsApp group. I've just sent something to the group.
Is it? Oh no, I did really well. Oh, I feel like
it's really good. It's really good. It's just to end on a slightly light-hearted note, just because it's been quite a serious morning.
Okay, I'm going to go check it out. Oh God.
Yeah. I'm so very glad. I'm so glad that you were able to.
Lescha, man, I would put it up, but I know that the algorithms would just throw us off.
That's exactly why I only put it in the WhatsApp group and didn't actually say it.
I'm trans-vaxxed. I'm not venated. I'm identified as venated. Respect my pronoun. Oh my God, I would have loved to have put that up, right?
There you go.
But I've already been in this. I've been in the sin bin so many times, man. I feel like I'm back at school. I couldn't believe it, man. I couldn't believe it. But there we go. So another Friday morning.
Evening, Shugs.
Is Shugs in the room? Look at her dragging herself up. She's actually been checking out the website for me and checking that all the links and everything is working properly, so is that people can actually they can now go and get hold of some merchandise to help keep the platform going. Because we've got the t-shirts, we've got the hats, we've got everything, we've got the mugs out there. We just need people to go out and support it now. But we were working on it yesterday on checking out all the links, and there was quite a few things that was wrong, as Shugs was letting me know. There's no basket. Where's the basket? Why is it asking me to register, Rudi? Why is it asking me to register? I was like, this registration shouldn't be here, Rudi.
At least she's early for that. At least she's early, yeah.
So I was like, okay. The colours, Rudi, the colours. I don't like the colours. I was like, oh my God. Yeah, I phoned you yesterday and didn't phone me back, Rudi. What's going on?
I disappeared. I'm just a floating head.
Yeah.
You
Thank you, Alfia.
Church this morning with your conversation. Well done. Thank you, Alfia. That's all the way up there in Birmingham, man. Oh my God.
Yes.
So,
all the way.
Yeah. But you know,
send a pigeon.
Yeah. We didn't have to because. Oh my God. We so had to send you some Wi-Fi on Wednesday.
Oh, wow.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah, I spoke to her immediately afterwards. She was so upset with herself, but yeah, it is.
Is it? Oh well.
Happens, man. It happens.
Shazzy B, man. We got to get Shazzy D.
Shazzy D. She's coming back, yeah.
We have to get her in on a Saturday morning.
Yeah, she's coming back. Yeah.
What we're doing. Shugs is saying, leave me alone.
We will, Shugs. Definitely leave you alone.
Huh?
Who's on tomorrow's show?
Ask Juicy Julie.
No, you know the guest tomorrow. I know who the Rants and Bants are, but you.
So give us that because.
So we've got the lovely Iffy and Donna Ben and the wonderful who we've just harassed, Shugs.
Is it? Tomorrow morning. I hope she gets out of bed though. About leave me alone.
Yeah. I can do her an alarm call.
Is it? I think you're going to need to do an alarm call, man. Definitely going to have to do that. We're just waiting to hear from DJ Countryman, actually, because it's meant to be his relative of his that we're supposed to be talking to. If not, it's going to be quite a few yes, no's and people getting kicked out from what I can see. But no, I'm looking forward to it. So, how is the weekend going to be running for Coach Astrid this weekend?
It will be good. I'm enjoying just each day as it comes, really. I'm going to be taking it easy, chilling, and I'm going to be working, but not too hard.
Working, but not too hard. That sounds like a good lazy day, man. That sounds like a good lazy day.
Well, because I work during the week, a lot of the weekends I have to myself, so I just do as and what I want to do when I want to do it. So we're all good.
Okay. And yourself, Aston?
Car shopping this weekend.
Oh, you're still looking for the car, yeah?
No, the missus has decided we're changing her car. So
okay.
She's doing that. I'm getting my one detailed. So
hear him now. In other words, he's getting somebody else to clean it.
Yes.
Yeah, man, of course.
You know.
Lazy. That's what Sundays used to be for. Sundays used to be about cleaning the cars.
When you got your stone chips and the flaking and all them business there. I just want it look nice now for the summer, for the 2 weeks summer that we're gonna get.
2 days. The 2 hours of sunshine you're talking about. The 2 hours
You're right. You know? I got myself a new shirt, so we're all right.
Okay. In fact, as we mentioned that, you know what I mean? Aston was telling me, you know what, the t-shirt don't come, the t-shirt don't come. He goes, you know what, I'm sure I'm going to see my mum walking around in it later on. What happened?
His mum was walking around in it.
She had it hide up in her room, innit? Hide up in her room.
And I'm phoning up the man, cussing him, saying the delivery never reached. They never reached to Aston. I go, what happened to it? We paid the money for it to get there, and it still don't reach there. Next thing I know, my phone ring. Rudi, I bought the t-shirt. I bought the t-shirt. I go, I just done cuss off the man. He goes, well, find it.
Get Anton to send the apology.
A written apology, by the way. Written apology. Because when I tell you I cussed the man hard, you see? Jesus.
Did you get a discount?
Did I get a discount? No discount, man. I mean, and he was upset because he was telling me, but I'm sure it was something. He goes, I've got the paperwork here. And I goes, no, you ain't. Don't tell me about no paperwork, Rude Boy.
Because you don't get a discount.
Jesus
Christ. I apologize.
Next thing I know, my phone ring. Rudi, about the t-shirt.
Anton and cheese.
About the t-shirt. You know what I mean?
So funny.
I feel like to send you some crackers and some Ardo bread.
Pate. Yeah.
Anyway, another week, ladies and gentlemen.
Pate,
he said. Yeah.
Oh dear.
One stop fruit and veg was not delivered to Wales. Kiss my teeth. Are you for real?
It said anywhere UK nationwide.
Oh, shame. Don't go there. Don't go there.
You've been digging him all morning, innit?
You've been digging him hard, man.
I'm sorry.
That's not good. They did say yes, didn't he? He said yes. Michael said yes last week.
I can see his picture. It looks all right for me.
Aston, man, them lot.
Done with Lescha and a looking nice man still.
Not from a distance, innit? Watch out.
Carl, them a dig you, man.
I might even put some earring on next week. You never know.
Lord.
A bit of lippy.
Careful.
I've always got earrings and lippy on, so yeah.
At least it won't look like a floating head.
You lot ain't easy, man.
Green banana.
You lot are not easy.
What was Shug doing with the green banana?
I don't know.
Go away. Lord.
Green banana, let's sweeten it, boy. Jesus Christ. Carl, man, why are they all over you this morning, man? What's going on?
He's the only man brave enough to stay in the room. They've all gone.
What has he said?
Probably.
What has he said? I mean, we know that the guy plays his music, man. Leave him alone, man. Leave him alone. You know what I mean?
A Wajakan. No, he's a Wajakan with a W. Not a H,
Them a
with a
think
W.
them a bad man, but them a sad man.
Stop it, Rudi.
Them a rascal. Take me happy selling bad. Bring them to the war field. Them a get healed. Walk around with them gun. Me happy show them where the Zion. Jah will bless the true lion. Bonfire upon the fake man. Big up the righteous man.
He's coming. He's coming. He said he's coming to London to get one of us.
I think he needs to. You know, I'm just disgraceful.
Oh, dear.
Oh my God.
Just remember though, Carl, yeah? I'm in the Midlands, yeah?
And I'm not in London.
I'm going to disown them.
Okay. We got to love you and leave you, ladies and gentlemen. You've been
the truth.
You've been great. You've been great. You've been great. You've been great. So, have a great weekend, people. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for your comments.
God bless.
It's Friday morning. It's not crunchy time.
It's Friday morning Rants and Bants with Rudi Lickwood and the crew. Aston Matapha Jones,
Julie Juice, Coach Astrid, and Lescha Marshall-Witter.
Early morning conversation with a special guest each week.
Join us.
Bring your tea, your coffee,
and let us fill you up
At 8:15 a.m. to 9:15 a.m.
Friday mornings.
See you there.
Live with me, Rudi Lickwood, and the Rants and Bants Crew.